Good evening, learning lovers. It's me, Angie, with Learn Love Tarot, and I'm here tonight to continue the reading that I did earlier today live on my sister channel, The Spiritual View. It was called Something to Believe in. If you've been with me for the last couple lives on this channel, you know that song came up either last night or the night before or both. I can't remember. You might have to let me know there in the comments if you would. But anyway, the reason I wanted to continue it was because when I went to put away those cards from that reading, and just, slide the disc cards back in, I pulled them out of the tin, and look what the ish was at the bottom of the tin, at the bottom of the pile. And I was like, oh my God. So this is the Lover, which is our energy of today, happens to be the Lovers. It is a 6th day. Today is November 14th, 2024. However, whenever you hear this message, know that there's something in here for you, and trust that you were brought to this message for a reason, even if it's to share with someone else. Okay, so the Lover's energy, because today's date reduces, it adds up to a 33. So we've got that master number there to begin with. So 33 is all about our body, mind, and spirit, and that's balance on both sides of the equation. 33 is a master number that you don't normally reduce. You keep that as your life path. But then in order for today's purposes, we go 1 through 9 with the energy as far as the life path energy number, which is a 6, the path of freedom. So something to believe in. That was quite the reading. There were so many synchronicities, including the fact that I talked about the 7 of Pentacles card from my Tarot de la Luna deck that has a ballet dancer featured on it who has landed the part of the Black Swan. And if you know anything about ballet, it's very, very vigorous. It's hard work. It's a lot of preparation. And she was pretty tore up from the floor up, but it's finally all your hard work coming to culmination. She was finally getting to debut all her hard work as the Black Swan. And the bottom of the deck, we have our White Swan. So yin yang energy, divine feminine, divine masculine energy. We all have that within each of us, and we are all struggling as humans. Our whole life path is about finding that inner balance of our own yin and yang, our divine feminine, divine masculine, our own black and white swans, our light, our shadow, etc. So I want to find out today, I want to ask where the earth, water, fire, and air signs are at. I also want to dive into the north and south nodal axis, because this lesson of independent autonomy within committed partnerships is the goal. We've been learning that lesson starting July 17th of 2023, and we have until January 11th. I've been seeing 111 a ton. Always see 1111, but 111 in particular has been coming up a lot. That is when our last day of, did you find the balance between those two nodes? Did you find the middle of independence? For example, getting away from that south node in Libra can be too far south of codependency, overdoing for others, not filling our own cup. And then those people, those relationships get towers. The divorce rate has been crazy. Look up the data since 7/17/23 and check out the increase on that. Anything out of balance cannot sustain in this energy. The north node is where we step out of our comfort zone and try to pull towards our north node of destiny. With it being in Aries, that is going to be about getting away from me, my, okay, independence without committed partnerships, not caring what's happening to the other person. And then those people get the towers for being too far north of that. It's all about coming into the middle. So let's see what's going on with the black and white swans. I wanted to look up this energy. Again, it's called the Lover, and that is a 10, 15, 16, 17 card in this deck, which is the energy of the star in the major arcana of the tarot. So 17 is the star card of staying tethered to our hopes, our wishes, our dreams, putting work toward them to make them to come to fruition. It's not just about a wish, it's about taking action steps to make that happen. So let's see what's going on here with the lover. The lover. This is the heart, the beloved, the devoted. Pulsing through the heart of the lover is gratitude. The lover appreciates and experiences the world through the senses, reveling in beauty, song, art, music, scents, and sensuality. This energy awakens at the tip of our tongue when we taste the sweetness of honey, the kiss of a lover, or speak gentle words to a child. The lover lingers in foreplay, aroused not by the getting there, but by the slow merging of self and other. This energy is usually experienced for short periods of time, as in order to feel it, we must be fully present and awake, with no exceptions or rules about what should be. Rather, the lover is in awe of what the world presents, reveling in the glorious details, grateful to savor every last drop of life's offerings. So speaking of light and shadow, when this energy is in its light aspect, its meaning is connection, expansion, devotion, and awe. When it's in its shadow, this is shows up in the form of indulgence, attachment, obsession. So very much like the energies of the lovers, which would be the light aspect, and the devil of fear, attachment, addictions, codependencies, being the shadow aspect of that energy. So very interesting. That got me curious. And of course, I want to then look at, that's our environmental energy. At the bottom of the deck, I want to see what would be then on the top of the deck. XLIX. So 50 minus 10, so 49, the fault line. The fault line. So let's look up that energy, the fault line. The fault line. And interesting, it's so colorful with the lover. And then on the other side, this is the divide, right? If we don't come, this is the north and south nodes. If we don't come to the middle ground, right, then we're going to fall through the cracks. If we stay too far on the ends, we're going to slip right through that. That relationship will not be able to sustain itself. So this is about the fissure, the crack, the weak link. Imagine walking across a frozen lake that begins to crack before your eyes. No matter how optimistic and brave you might be, panic ensues. You become fearful and tense and long for stable ground. Such is the energy of the fault line. It's the energy of walking on eggshells, of precarious dynamics, of sensing what is ready to break open into chaos. It's likely this cracking open is overdue, as fault lines develop slowly and naturally from underlying elemental pressures. This card comes as a potent warning not to deny the shakiness that's afoot. It's much better to prepare yourself for change than to walk along the fault line pretending all is well. There were an ish ton of fives in that live reading today, a lot, and tens. 5 is a number, an energy of change. So there's no easy fix for the situation at hand. It will require a foundational shift that alters the current dynamics from the ground up. That is every nodal axis lesson. We'll get a new lesson come January 12th. So and that will be with the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. Okay. So when this energy is in its light, it's all about redefining reality and breaking open. We have to break down like that tower energy we've been seeing this week in order to rebuild anew. Okay. So this is very, very towery. I'm usually about a day ahead of the energy. And tomorrow, the 15th of November, will be the day of the Chariot and the Tower. So I don't forget, as an aside, last night's reading, as far as Riddle Me This, was all about the Sphinx and something that was taking time to unfold so that we didn't miss the lesson and have to redo it, right? And the theme came out as the Chariot, but because I was using my new deck, it was a snail for the Chariot, which is opposite of the Chariot's energy, very, very fast. The original Rider-Waite deck, the Chariot is driven by the two horses, but instead of two horses, guess what they were? Guess what they are? The freaking Sphinxes. And I didn't even put two and two together. I saw that today and I was like, holy bleep bleep. So there we have it. When it's in shadow, precariousness, pretending, delusion. And the author recommends to go deeper into this energy, dance to Everything is Broken by Bob Dylan. Okay. Interesting. That Japanese just got my attention because we've seen the Japanese samurai warrior with his sword as the King of Swords popping up as well. So that's why my attention got drawn there. In Japanese kintsugi pottery, gold is used to mend cracks. All this gold used to mend cracks. Breaks are thought of as precious rather than something to be hidden. We always talk about a beautiful disaster, and only afterwards, in the aftermath, after everything's been settled, we probably consider that actually beautiful. In that moment, the disaster just feels like a disaster, right? Okay, let's see where we're going here today. We do have Daddy Sadie moving direct tomorrow, so that's all about getting back on the pathway, moving forward, and with something to believe in. The Lover's energy of a bright future ahead. If temptation can be avoided. Super cool. So let's go ahead here. My first question is going to be, how are earth, water, fire, and air signs? How is each one attempting to balance the inner feminine and masculine polarities? Now, on my community post today, I did put down the meanings of the north and south nodes and where they're sitting in the sky. We only have 5 more degrees to go till January 11th. So we moved from a 5 Sabian symbol into a 4 today. So the Aries 4 Sabian symbol is 2 lovers strolling through a secluded walk. And that's all about balancing the inner feminine and masculine polarity. So I want to see what energy each sign is doing that with. How are earth signs, what energy are they using? Okay. See what both are here. King of Swords, like I was just talking about with that Japanese samurai sword wielder. Okay, so King of Swords here, King of Arrows, Adonis, and the ace isn't even supposed to be there. So, okay, that's why 2 came out then. All righty then. So earth signs are approaching it very practically. About balancing their inner feminine and masculine. It's just looking at it head on. The truth is the truth, and that's all there is to it. Very practical, especially with our Taurus full moon tomorrow, that beaver moon. Taurus is usually risk averse, unlike his sister sign Scorpio, who's like, let's go. We're going all in. We're not just going to dive in the water. We're going to go to the deep end. So King of Swords, seeing the truth about something very directly. So maybe earth signs, you might be diving towards that truth a little deeper there, as far as being willing to make your dreams have a practical plan. I mean, that's what the Taurus moon, full moon is all about. King of Swords, your dreams. Yep, full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan, something to believe in. There isn't anybody more practical than the King of Swords. Okay, they can a little bit of lack of love in there, so I would say dive into your Scorpio sister there for a little bit more passion in that, and make sure, yeah, there's a Queen of Cups, Cancer energy, full moon also right there on that card, sister sign. Scorpio is also a water sign, so I would say bring your heart into this to balance these polarities. I would think that you'd be just fine with this King of Swords energy. So maybe this is asking you, if we've been too far into the feminine polarity, maybe this is asking you here to bring in a little more head over heart, or vice versa. King of Swords is usually head over heart decisions. So how are water signs balancing the inner masculine and feminine polarities? What energy are you coming with here? Yes, of arrows. So water signs, Page of Swords. Water signs, there's this is Psyche. There are butterflies of transformation all around her. So it looks like water signs, you are completely balancing here simply by going, you know what? I don't know everything. I got a lot to learn. The Page of Swords is the ultimate researcher. So you are researching ways in which to transform here, apparently. All right. Let's find out how fire signs, what energy are fire signs trying to balance the inner feminine and masculine polarities? What strategy, what energy are you using, fire signs? How are fire signs trying to balance the inner feminine and masculine polarities? How are fire signs approaching this? Lots of 3s and 5s. So Empress energy by creating. 5s would be of change. Okay. Stubborn cards here, not wanting to reveal themselves. Have you left this to the last minute, fire signs? Queen of Wands for the fire sign. So Queen of Wands is actually like, because Mars co-ruled Aries and Scorpio. Scorpio is the fiery water sign. So that would be the Queen of Wands. How are you approaching this? With your touch of magic, with confidence, by creating. The Queen of Wands is the master manifester, super creative energy, throwing some beauty and firelight on this, balancing inner feminine, new word, feminine and masculine energies. You are approaching it with some flair here. You are increasing your self-confidence. Okay. So we've got the researcher, the water signs are researching how to transform, really getting into it, not afraid. And being voracious learners. Earth signs being pretty practical and counting on head over heart, trying to maybe analyze a little more left brain there with some analysis. Just make sure it's not analysis paralysis. We've got the Justice card, Ace of Cups on the bottom. I thought this felt awfully thick for just the court cards. All right. Air signs. How are air signs approaching balancing the last 4 degrees? If there's any work left to do here, air signs, how are they balancing their inner masculine and feminine polarities? Okay, I'll take the top card. Page of Coins, or Princess of Coins, which is the Page of Pentacles. That's the most learned of all the pages. This is by making an offer or by accepting some kind of new position. It could be accepting an offer, giving an offer. You are taking that learning to heart. You could even be applying for a new position that you never thought that you would see yourself doing, air signs. This is about time, money, energy, resources, messages, and learning about how to balance those in the 3D. Will help you balance your own energies within. Okay. All right. So that was a little bit of a long way to go for those with that foolishness, but guess what? The path is never a straight shot. We make progress, we back it up, we make some more, like it, we inch there, but we've got to enjoy the ride. All right. Regardless. All right, let's see what's going on here. Of course, I've shuffled since the reading and re-saged my cards. So I just want to see what's going on here in the surface energy. We've got the 11 of Justice, as I'm talking about January 11th is being the end of this lesson. That's pretty cool and wants us to balance out, especially if with that justice can also imply court, okay? And then some kind of truth coming into balance, possibly through the court. We've got a Page of Pentacles showing up like we saw in the air signs, how they're approaching this balance of inner feminine, masculine polarities, right? Okay, so we've got Justice, Page of Pentacles, Page of Cups, both feminine energies. Air would be a masculine energy, but it's a major arcana where these guys are 2 pages. Okay, so Page of Pentacles, again, information seeking, information delivering. These look like peonies. They're gorgeous. There's a dragonfly on top of this beautiful hot pink peony, which is connecting to the 5th dimension, the star chakra. Okay, water signs, how you're transforming is literally, it looks like by watering yourselves here, that transformational energy. Page of Cups is all about examining our past. We did see that come up earlier in the reading today. This fish is looking at this woman with great admiration. So this could be pages or messengers. They are deliverers. So you could even be hearing news about justice, about a court case turning in your favor, some kind of new information regarding a love offer or a possible apology or just someone's admiration. Okay. 5 of Swords. In this deck, it is the woman hiding half of her face here. 5 of Swords is about trying to win just for winning's sake. We see a gentleman with his heart kind of ripped out there, but it's been stitched over. And she's like, who did that? I didn't do that. 5 of Swords is can be lying. It can be deceit. It can be trying to skew the rules of the game to benefit you. It could be gaslighting. It could be you gaslighting yourself or someone gaslighting you. That could be the reason for the apology here. We have the Hermit energy of self-examination. And we do see 2 ships either side of that Hermit energy, with the lighthouse there right in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do one more. 10 of Wands, and then the Empress, this heavy burden being set down so that you can pick up this lover's tulip. I described that energy of the tulip earlier today as well. Just trust me, check out the reading. It was a great reading, high energy. So finally getting some kind of balance after our self-examination of ways in which we sabotage ourselves or our relationships. Using this feminine energy here of the Pentacles and the Cups, and then these burdens of the 10 Wands and these 5 Swords are masculine energy. The Hermit would be feminine, and just this is even across the board. We got 1, 2, 3 masculine cards and 3 feminine cards. So that's just on the surface. We'll pay attention to see if those come back there. Empress, 4 of Wands, the 1111. That card is just not quit this whole week. The feminine Emperor, possibly taking a new leap of faith. And this was the give me something to believe in card of last night, standing up for what you believe in, which is all about your own happiness. Okay, let's stop there because I could go on. All right. Our next question. I want to know what skills, let's see, finding the skills. We just came out of the 5 degrees, which is about finding the necessary skills, loyalties, and values to rise to higher conscious levels. Now, we did have Libra moving into, we had Black Moon Lilith moving into the 16th degree, the next 5 degree chunk of Libra. It's all about modesty, and that's about a boat landing is washed away. And the meaning of that Sabian symbol is the shifting of consciousness following a catastrophic loss. So that tower energy that's been coming up, and then we just shifted into that 16. It is moving forward. So we went from 15 to 16. Okay. In a momento, I'm going to have to pause here to get my lasagna out of the oven. 2 seconds, please, and thank you. Okay, what skills are bringing earth signs to a higher consciousness? What skills, loyalties, values are helping earth signs rise to higher levels of consciousness? What skills, loyalties, and values are helping earth signs rise? Ace of Pentacles, all about the practical. No matter how long and how tough it's taken, this is like a year's worth of work here just for this to unfold. It's been a tough path here. The Ace of Pentacles is leading to the 10 of Pentacles, so that does not surprise me a bit. So the skill that you found here is patience for this to grow, patience in this learning, patience in this aha moment, patience with allowing our values to shift. Okay, Taurus can definitely be with that full moon in Taurus tomorrow. They can be all about sticking to that steadfast. It's a fixed sign. And again, being risk averse. This is a very practical approach crossed by, again, balance and justice. So maybe you're balancing out practicality. The Pentacles are feminine energy. King of Swords is masculine. And you're seeing a need for patience, it looks like here, earth signs, and a need for bringing in that feminine quality of within your time, money, energy, resources. Okay, anything 3D. Okay, let's look at how water signs are finding the necessary skills. What loyalties, values are you using here to rise to higher consciousness levels? Water signs. Water signs. What you do in water signs? The moon. Why am I not surprised? Getting jalapeno feels. All right. Finding the necessary skills. So the moon is about, can be confusion about, it can be about things that are hidden in the subconscious. And we do have psyche here. So the psyche is transforming. We are bringing things that were hidden from ourselves, okay, hidden in the subconscious, we're bringing them conscious. And this is spiritual help in doing that with that. That wolf howling at the moon. Also, we've learned to adapt here. This is an octopus, and they are able to adapt to any color. They can even change their texture, which I find wildly interesting. Crossed by Five of Cups. Yeah, allowing our emotions, water signs here, not allowing your emotions to control you, but you being in control of your emotions and adapting this way by allowing your shadow aspects to be integrated. Amazing job. That's really hard to do. The feelers of the zodiac doesn't surprise me a bit. She is here looking at, it doesn't seem like your environmental energy is exactly what you want it to be yet. Even though you're holding on to the Two Cups, there's still some focus here on regretting the regrets of the Three of Cups that have been spilt over. Three of Wands there, you're manifesting something new by shifting your focus to back to those Two of Cups, however. All right, fire signs. How are fire signs balancing the how are they finding the necessary skills? What are you using here to rise to higher consciousness levels? What skills, loyalties, and values are you implementing? Okay, we got flippers here. Take the top card. The Hanged Man, being willing to see something from a completely different perspective, a 180. So fire signs, if we were again too far in that Aries North Node and it was all about me, my, we could have had our, you know what, handed to us between that time of July 17th of 2023 up until now. Okay. Maybe your Bude was handed right back to you and you were either forced to see something from a completely different perspective, something that maybe dropped your confidence, and now your confidence is coming back because that's how you're balancing. You're getting your Stella's getting your groove back here, and this is the Hanged Man, the Pisces energy. This is all about enlightenment. Okay, you got to put yourself in the tree of life. And she is sitting under a big oak tree here, too, which is interesting. You have to put yourself willingly into the tree of life, upside down, so that you can see something from a completely new perspective. So that skill of having compassion, empathy, and seeing the other side, like, oh, I have someone here I need to consider, not just myself. By doing that, temperance energy, this is where that patience and balance is coming into play. Two major arcana. Wow. Well, and the earth signs got one with justice, and water signs here with the moon energy. There could be some major change happening there tomorrow, water signs, especially with the sun still being in Scorpio. Okay, seeing something from a new perspective and gaining the puzzle pieces needed to move towards your inner peace. Okay, that's beautiful. It's been a long, hard slog, and that was not without struggle. It definitely can say that. All right, air signs, last but not least. How are air signs? Let's see, you're using the Page of Pentacles there, just like you might be connected here to an earth sign, possibly, or you've had to balance those aspects in your chart. Too many to account for. There's a 10 of cups air sign, so that could be union. So maybe air signs, maybe some of you have gotten married in this time period. Oof. I don't think I would have done that in this nodal axis. Pretty brave air signs. Okay. So, what skills, loyalties, or values are helping you rise to higher consciousness levels? Okay, Page of Swords and Five of Swords. We'll take that Page of Swords. Also, a whole lot of learning. The Page of Swords is the researcher, the intellectual. It's the youngest page. It's the least learned page, so it has the most to learn. And it's saying you've learned so much during this axis that now you're ready to graduate, and you're holding on to your wishes. And interesting that he's holding on to that dandelion at the point where it's the wishing point of that. And I talked earlier today, this came out in the reading earlier, as star energy, because of the stars where those wishes were going. And we have a 17 here of that, the lover. Okay, bottom of that deck. So maybe we stopped, we gained some maturity here, air signs, by all of this learning. You're ready to graduate. And maybe we saw that in the surface energy there. We stopped sabotaging our relationships. We learned some new things here. Page of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. So you went from the least learned to the most learned of all the pages, putting that in action. This could have revolved around loyalty to self, not allowing someone else to sabotage you, or no longer sabotaging yourself. And there, I knew it wanted to come out, 10 of Cups. That is someone joining you under that rainbow. That can be community. That is anybody that you choose as family, anybody that you choose to be in partnership or union with. I would say if that's in the environmental energy, especially with this Five of Swords, this is like 10 of Cups can be kind of pipe dreamy energy, as in like that perfectness does not exist. Maybe that was the reason for the sabotage. And what we've learned is partnerships aren't perfect. They're just not. Sometimes we hurt each other. But Five of Swords, not my favorite five of the deck, because again, that can mean gaslighting. That can mean someone just ripping your heart out just for the fun of it, just wanting to argue to win. So it's kind of like going from I know nothing, and that's why I sabotage. I didn't even realize I was doing it, that shadow aspect of self, ruining something before it can even take root, into being the most learned. Okay. Very, very interesting there, air signs. Underneath that 10 of Cups, willful blindness, arguing about who gets to keep the house. If this is divorce energy for you, because it was all just an illusion, this is like, no, everything's fine. It's 10 of Cups. What do you want? Is it though? So the necessary skills, loyalties, and values, this may be the skills of navigating things that are just not perfect, or no longer allowing someone to sabotage you. You've definitely had huge leaps and bounds in your learning here. So that part is good. Let's just not turn a blind eye and pretend things are perfect if they are not. So this could be learning the lesson of discernment, to discern between what is a false pipe dream to what is actually real. That's that lesson of discernment. It's a tough one. It is not fun to learn, but you still got some time. All right, guys, that is going to be it for me tonight. Let me get a card of advice for each sign, and then we'll get you out of here. Sorry for the choppiness. This is actually the second recording I tried. I got 10 minutes into trying to record the first one and not able to find the dang page of that. So I just turned it off, started over. All right, let's look at what is advice for earth signs here. Learning the deepest mystery, forming spiritual communion within our group of peers, butterfly spirit, earth signs. Transformation is beautiful. Transformation is beautiful. You're getting justice because of the changes you have made. Water signs, advice for you, please. Water signs, advice for water signs. Learning how to rein in your emotions and not let them control you. Okay, we've got time to collaborate, ant spirit. Okay, and turning knowledge into wisdom. Turning knowledge into wisdom, especially if there were some regrets of the heart there. Okay, fire signs. Advice for fire signs. Flamingo, balance 26. Embrace the in between. Fire signs. Embrace the in between. 67 reduces to a 13, which is death and transformation, which is that Scorpio energy that I was noting with the butterflies there. Death and transformation, transforming from the caterpillar to the butterfly. Wow. Okay. That was almost a disaster. Air signs. There you go. Dog spirit. Be loyal to what you love. Be loyal to what you love. Okay. That means, first and foremost, to me, air signs, if you've had somebody that has been gaslighting you or ripped your heart out or just has been just trying to win for win's sake, too much in their at that Aries North Node energy. With that 5 of Swords, that be Aquarian energy, being too stubborn again with the fixed energies. That, being too stubborn and not compromising to come into the center is sabotage in itself. So be loyal to what you love. That's a 19 card, which is the energy of the sun. Being loyal to what you love because the sun is the happiest card in the deck. Are you happy truly, or is it just a facade and you're pretending willfully, blindly that things are fine? Okay, that's not being loyal to ourselves. All right. Oh boy. Okay, guys. That is it for me. I'm going to get my lasagna out of the oven and I will see you on the next one. Love you, mean it. Much love from my heart to yours. Bye-bye for now.